This morning, we're catching up with the multi-talented Lili Reinhart. For the past 4 seasons, she's played Betty Cooper on the CW teen drama series Riverdale.
Lili also just added executive producer to her resume with Amazon Prime's Chemical Hearts, which she stars in.
And Lili reveals her honesty, romance, and optimism in her debut collection of poems called Swimming Lessons, which is out today. Lili, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
So I want to start with the poetry, because I feel like when you put yourself on paper like that, it's pretty terrifying. You have to be vulnerable. You kind of have to bare your soul. So you do that in Swimming Lessons. What was it nerve-wracking for you to do that, or did you find strength in it?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely very vulnerable. It's a vulnerable thing to do, but I also think that that's what makes it beautiful, and that's what I find so comforting when I read poetry myself. I think we're all inherently looking to connect to other people, and through listening to music and watching movies and consuming art, that's what we do all day long. We just kind of want to connect. And so inherently, I think I wrote this book to connect to other people through my vulnerability and through feeling my emotions. So I think it's a risk worth taking, I suppose.
On that note, the poems are beautiful. They seem very personal. A lot of people want to know if the words in this book stem from your own romances, for example, or your relationships with your family, your friends, etc. Is that true? Can you tell us about your inspiration?
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes definitely from my own personal experiences, but also I kind of look at my poems as more of like little stories rather than something straight out of my diary. On purpose, I wanted people to be able to read this book and put themselves in my shoes, in the narrator's shoes, you could say. So, a little bit more broad, not so specific as like, this is exactly what happened in my life. It's more vague so that the reader can relate these poems to their own lives. But yeah, they all stem from my own personal experiences with all of these emotions, with heartache, with grief, with anxiety. But the scenarios in which the poems exist could be exaggerated or, fabricated.
Most people know, a lot of people don't. You have 25 million followers on social media, and they love to see what you're doing and to follow you. I know Chemical Hearts is a new project. It's currently out on Amazon Prime. You not only star in it, but you made your debut as executive producer. How was that?
I had the time of my life shooting that movie and also being an executive producer. It was just such a passion project for me to be a part of something from before the script was even written to the moment it came out. So I think it was such a beautiful experience, and I definitely want to continue executive producing because of how just like fulfilling Chemical Hearts was for me.
And you're in Vancouver right now shooting those final episodes of Riverdale Season 4, getting ready for Season 5. How has life changed on the set in light of the pandemic, and anything you can share with us about the new season?
It's definitely a different environment going back to work in the COVID environment. It's just a little, it's something you have to get used to. I was a little worried that the environment was going to be too sterile to be creative in. You're being vulnerable in front of a camera, and then you have all these people looking at you with masks on their face, and it seems kind of like a very strange dystopian world. But we're getting used to it, and we're adjusting, and we're taking really, the necessary safety precautions in order to work. So I'm very appreciative of that. And yes, we are on Season 5, and we're doing a 7-year time jump into the future for our characters, which is very exciting because I'm not playing a teenager anymore. My own age, which is exciting.
Well, Lili, you certainly have your hands full, and the poems are absolutely beautiful. Thanks so much for talking with us this morning.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.